To call this, who the fuck do I work for? What should we call this? Who the fuck do I work for? Who the fuck did I marry? Who the fuck did I go on a portable with? Yes, that's it. Okay, well, this is a story time about today. This happened today, and y'all know I be having stories for y'all, but like, I don't know, I just don't be doing them in that moment. And then later, I wait so long to do a story time, and then all my emotions towards it be gone. So then I feel like the video don't really be hyped like when it took place. But this shit happened today, and I've been talking about it all day. So I'm gonna make this video, and this gonna be the last time I talk about it. So let's get into it. Who the fuck did I go on a portable with? Don't play with it, don't be dishonest. Still not understanding. I get to clinicals from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., right? I started at this clinical site October 21st. This tech started at the clinical site like November 1st, right? You could tell she doesn't like nobody to say nothing to her. Again, I don't really know her. And I don't know. That's what's wrong with me. I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt, and it always backfires. But I noticed when she got there, like the first couple of weeks, she was late. The team lead had to say something to her, and she did a whole lot of back and forth with the team lead. And she was unprofessional, and I was like, oh my God, you know, as a student, right? That was my first impression of her, right? Then a second time, she was sitting around ha hee hee with other techs. And, you know, I'm a student, don't engage, so I'm down the book. And somebody said something that made me crack up laugh. And I remember she was like, and what you laughing for with your dimples and your big teeth? Okay, so that's that interaction, so you get an idea of what we're dealing with here, right? I wear my head wraps to clinicals because I don't want my hair out in this nasty environment, all these germs, so I keep my head covered and wrapped. She's made comments like, you know, why you wearing that head wrap? Like, why do you always wear it? Like, that head wrap bothers me because, like, you look Muslim and you're not even Muslim, like that, right? Then I like loose scrubs. I don't know if you can tell from my other videos, but if you watch my vlogs, maybe you'll catch my scrubs. But I like loose scrubs. And she's like, okay, we're tired of these loose ass scrubs. We know you got body under there, so just go get you some tight ones and let's see. Like shit like that, right? So now, that was just a little back history. So now, today, I get there at 7 a.m. I'm there until 3 p.m. But today, because all this shit happened, I was there from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Early in the morning, it was slow. I think we finally went on a portable about 8:30. We on a portable. It's me, the student, another student, and this tech that I'm like, who the fuck did I go on a portable with? But this ain't when it happened. This is later in the day. But this is how it started. So when we on a portable, I'm just like eating my Nutter Butters, waiting on the patient to be ready. So I'm not paying any mind to the conversations that's going on, but then I hear, and you don't care for, what we gonna call it? And you don't care for Kia. And so the first time I heard it, I ignored it. But then the second, third time, I couldn't ignore it. So I was like, why do you keep, I look and I'm like, why do you keep saying I don't care for Kia? Like, why are you saying that? Like, stop saying that. Why do you say that? I've never, you know, said that. I've never acted like it or anything. Like, I'm a student. I'm not here for that. Like, why do you keep saying that? Right? Then eventually it clicks. And I was like, if she's that comfortable to say that in front of me, I feel that she's been very comfortable probably going and repeating this and actually telling somebody this. So I didn't like that. So now I've worked with Kia. Kia is another tech that she was referring to. I've worked with her. Had no issues. Like, the girl just started. She's only been there for a week. That, like, there's been nothing there, you know? So, after that interaction, and I know they're buddy-buddy. Like, they clicked real quick. You know how it's some people that just, like, you think they knew each other forever, even though Kia just started a week ago, they clicked up pretty fast. So I'm like, you know, if she's comfortable to say that to me, I have no doubt that she's saying that to Kia, right? So it's bothering me, you know, because don't make up something like that, you know. Don't be, you know, telling people that people don't care for people. Like, don't do that. I didn't like that. So then all day I was trying to figure out, I'm like, how do I go about this? Do I go and tell Kia, like, hey, I don't know if this has been said to you, but I want you to know out of my mouth that that's not the case? Or do I just not say nothing, right? I didn't know how to play it. So I take my lunch, 12:30, and Kia just so happens to walk past me, but I was back and forth with, you know, how I approached it. I really wasn't sure. I was thinking of all the outcomes or whatever. So, but at the end of the day, I just didn't like that. Like, that's my reputation. But then also, like, that's just not the case. Like, when I go with Kia on portables, like, I make the effort to make small talk because I thought she was tall and pretty. So, I didn't want that reputation out there of me. And I also was back and forth with, you know, that I really could care less. But at the same time, I just want you to hear one time that that was not out of my mouth, because I don't think that's okay, somebody doing that or, you know, trying to portray that. It's the end of my break. I go up to Kia and I'm like, hey, why you sit all the way back here? He's like, I don't know. And then she was like, and I walked past you because I was under the impression that you didn't like me. So this just confirms what I was thinking. And so when she said that, I was like, perfect. I'm glad you brought that up, because I wasn't aware that you was under this impression. I just found out today. And I also wasn't aware that somebody was going around saying that. I was like, so I want to let you know that out of my mouth, I don't know you. You just started. I think you're really tall and really pretty. And that's it. I have no ill feeling. I don't know you. And then first and foremost, I'm a student. I should not be here, you know, trying to start shit talking about who I like and don't like. I was like, so you know, out of my mouth, that never came out of my mouth. I don't know why that's being said, that he's just trying to start shit. And I said, it's actually your friend. Let's come up with a name for her. She drive a Honda, so let's call her Honda. I was like, it's actually your friend Honda that, you know, is saying this and taking it out of context, and I don't know why. I was like, so I will tell you out of my mouth. What I have said is that the text is working. The text is really working the students. Is that especially Kia. Kia really, like, Kia come in, take a coat off. She don't even do one patient herself. She just immediately here to student. I've said that, ask Kia, like, hey, how's my x-ray look? I've asked for critique, and Kia be like, what do you think? Again, that's nothing bad, that's nothing wrong. Like, I'm talking out loud about my day. I didn't say anything negative, and it's also nothing personal at all. And I also am aware that as a student, every tech is different. Every tech is going to teach you different. So whatever, you know, I've felt or said, I'm also aware that the way that you teach as a tech, or the way you come across as a tech, at the end of the day is for my benefit as a student and as my future as a tech. I was like, so I would never, I feel that what I have said has been overheard, and y'all are buddy. So she heard something, she took it, she ran with it and completely blew it out of context, and I just don't appreciate it, which is why I wanted to talk to you and clear it up. And she was like, well, thank you. I really appreciate it. And I was like, yeah, it was bothering me. I don't think that's cool, you know, to just be starting shit. And she was like, and I thought that, you know, it was really two-faced to you. And I was like, I totally understand why you would think it's two-faced. I was like, I've made efforts to make small talk with you when we work together. And I didn't know this whole time that somebody was, your friend, was in your ear telling you that I don't like you. But then here I go doing portables with you, making small talk. I'm like, if I did not like you, I would not make the small talk. I would even try to not go on portables. I was like, but that's not the case. Again, I've even complimented you and told you, like, you're tall, you're pretty, what size shoe you wear, like, ooh, you know, I need some help, how you find heels, because I'm in the damn size 13. Like, I was trying to have tall friends. But, you know, now this narrative is being put out there and I don't appreciate it, which is why I wanted to talk to you. She was like, thanks. I was like, I just don't appreciate somebody, you know, being a shit starter and your friend actually being two-faced. You think it's me because of, you know, this fake narrative that she's giving you, but the whole time it's really her being two-faced. So then, like, she tries to take up for her. And that's fine. Go ahead and be delusional about your friend. But she's like, I'm not going to say she was starting shit. She's like, I'm not going to say she's two-faced. You know, I don't know. She was like, but I really don't care about none of this. You know, I just come to work. I don't do nothing to nobody. I'm like, exactly. I agree with you. And I was the same way. But yet, here I am, right? And I was like, hey, I don't want to catch you off guard. But, like, I really feel like this ain't cool. This ain't okay. I would like to have a conversation with Honda in front of you. And she's like, oh, I don't want to be dragged into it. And I was like, well, your little friend kind of already did, and I don't want to be dragged into it either. You know, I'm the one that got more to lose because I'm a student, so this is crazy. Fast forward now, that conversation's over. She said thanks for clearing it up, even though I don't think that matters, because for the fact that when we talked, she tried to defend her friend. She's probably going to stick with her friend first, which is fine. You know, do what you gotta do. Get back from lunch. It is really busy. So, but then I noticed that Honda is keeping her distance from me. So I'm like, her friend must have talked to her and gave her a heads up. Okay, cool. Then, when I'm finally done being busy, I go sit down, and Honda is like, I've been waiting on you. Come with me to do this portable. So I said, cool, I've been waiting on you too. I get up, I go do the portable with her. As soon as we get around the corner, she said something. I don't know what she said, but I was like, you off at 3:30 today, right? She's like, yeah. I was like, okay. I was like, I'm going to stick around because I'm off at 3, but I'm going to stick around. I wanted to speak to you, preferably in front of Kia. And she knew. She already knew what it was. She was like, what you want to speak to me for? What you want to speak to me for? And why do Kia got to be here? Why do Kia got to be there? And I was like, so earlier you said something, and it was a lie. And I didn't like it. I didn't appreciate it, because that's my reputation. So when I had an opportunity, I went to Kia, and I told her, I was like, first off, earlier you told me that she think I don't like her because of my vibe. That was a lie. When I talked to her, she said that she thought I did not like her because you've been saying I don't like her. I never said that. It never gave that. I just said how she works us. And I'll be frustrated. I want critique. And she's the type of tech that don't. That's it. So you ran to your friend. So I was like, do not bond with, you know, another female over, you know, trying to put me down. Don't do that. Go ahead, make your friends, that's fine. But don't be making friends at the expense of putting me down or at the expense of my reputation. So she was like, her eyes got big, and she was like, she's lying. She's lying. Of course she's not going to throw me under the bus. Of course she's going to lie to you and say that, what did she say? Of course she's going to lie to you and say that I told her, or she said some shit like that, but she was pretty much like, she's lying. She's not going to throw me under the bus for you. You're a student. She's lying. You really think that she's going to tell you the truth? Who the fuck are you? Why would she tell you the truth? So already I could see how this is going, right? And this was why we was waiting on the elevator. So we get on the elevator, and I'm like, okay, it's fine, because I can already see the way that you're responding. And I wasn't expecting that response. So I was like, it's okay. There's nothing else or that we need to say to each other about the situation. I'm just letting you know, I would much rather that we not work together, because that was not cool for you to try to take anything out of context and make it seem that way. She's like, you're a student and you should not complain as a student. I was like, no, I was never complaining. I was just like speaking my mind out loud. I even said it in front of the team lead, how the text is working us and how sometimes don't get a critique. And there was nothing wrong with what I said. But you took it. You took what you heard. You took it and you ran with it. You've also heard me say how this tech is so good and I really like working with this tech. You didn't go and run and say that. But as soon as you felt you heard something about your friend, You took that and you ran with it. I don't appreciate it. That was not cool. We don't need to, you know, we can keep our distance after today. But I just wanted to let you know that was not okay. She going off. Now we out the elevator. We on the next floor. Mind you, we doing portables. She going off. Now it's getting fucking embarrassing. So we going in circles at this point. You know how you arguing and doing something, but like you can't focus. Like we supposed to be finding the room 206, and we have went left, right, up, down, stop, because she's doing this, and I'm a student. I don't know where I'm going. I'm following her, and then I realized she too busy doing this that we're not gonna find the room. So. And then she steady arguing in front of all these white people, in front of all these nurses, steady arguing, right? So I can't remember. Something happened where now we get back on the elevator to do the next portable. What happened with the first one? I can't remember. So now we get on the 4th floor to do the portable. She doing all this, right? And I keep telling her, I'm like, stop, you know, like this so unprofessional, stop. I don't carry myself like this. Like, we could just stop. Like, there's nothing else to say. So I just stopped. She's still, right? So now I'm like, hey, can you please refocus? We're supposed to be on a portable getting this work done. I'm looking for this room number. Can you tell me where it is? She's like, oh, you the student. You tell me where it's at. You been here long enough. You got it. You got it. Find the room. Where's the room at? You got it. So I'm like, okay. So I'm really looking for the room. I cannot find the room. She's steady doing this. So I'm like, you know what? I gave her the medical record. I'm like, you know what? You do it. Fuck it, you do it. I ain't say fuck it, but I was like, you do it. Right? So I walk off. Then while walking off, I realized, like, Naima, that's me. You a student, baby girl. Like, right now, I don't know how this gonna play out. And it looked like I have just walked away from portable, and I don't know how this gonna affect me, and I don't want nobody thinking that that's what took place. So I go back, pick up the papers, cause she's nowhere by the portable. She's still like standing off to the side, just arguing. So I turn back around, and when I turn around, I look, there's so many nurses just standing there looking. I hate that for me. But when I turn around, like, I notice, like, you got nurses leaning over their desk, looking down the hall at us, or at her, because it's really her, but I'm with the shit, so it's me too. You got nurses peeking out the room doors, looking. You got nurses in the hallway pretending to work. So you know how it be at work. You got nurses in the hallway pretending to work, but looking out the corner of their eye while they typing to see what's going on. Like, that was the scenery, right? So once I saw that, I immediately got embarrassed. Even though I don't have anything to be embarrassed about, because it wasn't me acting like that, but it was still embarrassing because, yeah. The nurse that I saw working but looking, I went up to her and I was like, first off, I was like, Honda, I'm a student. I don't know where I'm going. Like, I need you to tell me where I'm going. She's still going for, oh, you're a student. You should know. You've been here. You know, so at that point, I looked at the nurse that was looking at us already. And I was like, hey, can you tell me where I could find room 415? And she was like, it's that way. I said, okay, thank you. So I take the portable, because mind you, Honda ain't by the portable. She's still standing off to the side doing all this. Take the portable, I go to where I'm going, and I go into the room. Honda's still down the hall doing all this, right? So I go in the room, it's a shoulder, Honda down the hall doing all this, and she was like, I ain't doing nothing else. You could do the shoulder. Go ahead. You got it. You could do the shoulder. I ain't doing nothing else, right? So I go in the patient's room. Again, I'm ignoring Honda. I'm not saying nothing, and Honda still just, you know. So by this time, I'm in the patient's room. I'm setting the patient up. I'm getting the patient. Y'all, if you are an x-ray tech, let me tell you, do you know what the exam was? I hated this for myself. The exam was a portable shoulder. This situation could not get any worse. It was a portable shoulder. If you know that ain't easy, especially as a student. And I just comped on shoulder like last week, so I'm definitely not there yet with the portables. But yet, after what's going on, I just prayed about it and did my best, and I got it done without needing her help. But I'm in there, I'm trying my best to do the portable, and she comes in the patient's room arguing. I'm like, Honda, okay now. It's bad enough you did it in the hallway with all the nurses looking. It's bad enough I told you to stop and you're doing it. But now in a patient's room? Really? I said, Honda, you need to stop. Look at where we at. We in a patient's room. Stop it. I'm not doing this. Stop it. I'm definitely not doing it here. She's still like loud, yelling. She's still doing it. At this point, I'm just like, first off, my mind is racing. My head is pounding. Like, this was a lot to ignore and to have self-control over. So, what happened? So, I go ahead with my exam, ignore her. At some point, she leaves the room. Like, you can only talk to yourself for so much. You can only argue with yourself for so much, right? So, she never helped with the exam. When I leave out the room, I'm wiping things off, I'm finishing up, and she's like, can I just say one thing? And I was like, no. I told you I'm done with this. There's nothing else to say. There's nothing else that needs to be said. Like, no. This bitch stars up again. And she was like, you don't know your place as a student. You are a student. You're a student. You're a student. And I'm really hurt and feel so betrayed that you would go behind my back. But you need to remember that you are a student. You have bigger problems. You're a student and worry about that. I am a tech. Ain't no friends. And you've been begging to be my friend. And you're a whiny ass baby. And you're weird. You are weird. You're weird. And it's your ego that's the problem. It is your ego. And it's not my fault that your school closed. I laughed. I was like, you started off as a student. You had to be a student to be a tech. Like, okay. So then I just continued to ignore it. And then she said something about being mad. Like, you're a whiny ass baby and you're just mad. I laughed. I was like, I'm not mad at all, which is why I said we don't need to discuss it anymore. And she was like, you're turning red. You're turning red. Look at you. You're red. You're red. So I didn't say nothing. And then I just looked at her. Like, so I could just look at how much of a show she's putting on, how much of a clown she's looking, especially in front of these white people. So I'm just looking at her. And I'm like, honestly, the way you're acting right now, you're really mad and butthurt. So I feel that there is definitely some truth, which is why you're so mad that I went and approached it anyway and found out what you were doing. She's like, you're never gonna have friends because you're weird. You are weird. And she was like, you're a student. You are a student, right? So now, mind you, our team leader's name, let's call her Jeep. Okay, our team leader name is Jeep, right? So at some point, she was like, and I'm saving you. I'm not going to, she was like, I'm not going to lose my contract over a student. I will not lose my contract over a student. And you're lucky I'm not taking this to Jeep. And I was like, at this point, I think that we really should get Jeep involved because this is really getting out of hand. And she was like, if you get Jeep involved, I'm telling you now, I'm throwing you under the bus. I'm telling her you're lazy as shit. You don't work. You don't do anything but complain. You're a student. You cannot complain. And I was like, that don't faze me. Like, for whatever reason, you trying to little girl me. You trying to scare me. I was like, let's get Jeep involved. let's go to the team lead. Because look at how you're acting. Like, this is crazy. You're bringing this in the patient's room, da da da. So now, mind you, she acting like that. She on 10 in the hallway. She on 10 in front of all these people. Now we get in the elevator. Now, I did think, before I got on that elevator, I did look around for another exit because I felt like I should not be on the elevator with you. But I did not see one, and honestly, my mind was racing. Like, the way that I felt, you can't even imagine the way that I felt. So I just get on the elevator. Now we on the elevator. She's really going off. She is really going off. She is really, like, she was already going off, but now she done hyped up, right? So I slightly moved the portable in front of me, right? But the way that I moved it and stuff so that it don't hit her, it was still space to get to me. And I noticed while she bucking her eyes and she doing all the rah rah rah, but she also doing this and insulting me and, you know, saying, you're weird, you are a student, I am a tech, it's no friends in this, and you were begging to be my friend. While she's doing that, I'm noticing the language, baby. I'm noticing the language. So I moved the portable in front of me, but the way I did it so it don't hit her, like, it was still space to get to me, right? And I'm still noticing she doing this. Now, we come from the 4th floor to the 1st floor, so it was taking a minute. And the elevator old, so it was taking a minute. So I eased the portable in front of me, and then I still noticed, you know, her body language is gone, right? So I tell her, and I looked at her just like this. By the grace of me being a student, that's the only thing that's helping you right now. Do not cross this portable. I'm telling you now. The only thing giving you grace is the fact that I am a student. Don't cross this portable. You did this in the hall. You did this in front of these people. You did this in the patient room. You did this on the way to the elevator. Thank God I am a student for your sake. I am a student. Do not cross this portable. So then she stopped. So then she was like, you keep your distance from me. And I won't go to, because you still need to graduate. Girl, she also was like, at the end of the day, I'm a woman, and the way that you approached the situation was not okay, and I was blindsided. I was like, I never blindsided you. All I said is, hey, when you leave, before you leave, like, I would like to talk to you with, you know, your friend. But I wasn't blindsiding you, but and she was like, my feelings are so hurt, and you betrayed me, and you've been begging to be my friend. And I'm just like, the delusion. When did I ever beg to be your friend? That never happened. But of course, you lying to your own real friend. So of course you're gonna, you know, so yeah, and then like betraying, even my team lead, she was like, that's not betraying her. I was like, hey, look at who's saying it. Like, I don't know. So yeah, that's the story time. Who the fuck did I go on a portable run with? I love the story time for us. I let my team lead, you know, be aware. And she knows. So that's all that matters. That's that. And then she also was like, I just want to let you know that, like, you're definitely safe here as a student. And yeah, I was like, I never came into your office because I felt I wasn't. I just wanted to make you aware of the situation. I trust that you're very professional, and that you have done this long enough to be able to tell, you know, like, she can come here and say what she wants. But I trust that you have done this long enough where you can tell, like, a lazy student that don't do nothing from, you know, one that actually does. She was like, yeah, you're a very good student. So I was like, yeah, so I'm not worried. You know, she tried to use a tactic to scare me. But I also heard her say, I'm not going to lose my contract over a student. So, like, it sounds like she's probably done this before. She's been here before. And she's just trying to save her own ass, which is why she's coming up with all these narratives that I didn't approach something right, and that, you know, I have an ego, and that I've been weird and trying to be her friend. And she said that I make her so uncomfortable because I'm so weird and that I'm the problem. And I was like, I just feel that she was really I didn't do anything wrong, and she knows that. So she can't really come to you about nothing because she has nothing. So that whole time she was trying her best to create something, which is probably why she reacted or was giving off that response, because she was trying to get a rise out of me. All that, you're weird, you're weird, you're a student, you're just a student, you're a student, you're a student. You're begging to be my friend. You're turning red. You're mad. You're a whiny ass baby. All of that was probably to get a reaction out of me, so that as soon as I react, she could then come to your office with something. This whole thing was a setup. All day when I've been on Portable, she's been saying like, hey, you should watch how you rub in the text. Watch how you rub in the text. And I'm like, huh? Like, I'm so confused by it. So I just feel that, you know, all of this, I was never worried about it. She tried to scare me. She tried to, you know, play like the big bad scary wolf, and it does nothing for me, and it's not gonna work. And here I am in your office because I just want to make you aware, because this behavior is so unprofessional and it's not okay. So yes, that's it. That's my story time. I don't know how to end it, but who the fuck did I